Hey y'all, wanted to give y'all an update from last night's video from last night. Oh my goodness, people drive like I don't even understand sometimes. Anyway, just my updates from last night's 90-day fiance happily ever after. So I'm gonna start. I'm not gonna go in order. I'm gonna go by order of remembrance because my memory is what? Terrible. So I'm gonna start with Andre because he just irritates every piece of my soul. Andre and Libby, they go and pick up his. Now we all know Andre's been acting like a total ass. Like he's just been acting like an ass the entire time they've been together. His attitude is just horrible. He's just not a nice person. And if production's goal is to make him seem that way, he is. So they go to the airport and to go pick up Libby's brother and father. And she's all excited to be with her family because they've been with Andre's family for so long. And they get there to the airport, they get in the car, and for some reason she decides to put her father in the front seat instead of her or her brother. I don't know why. But anyway, they get in the car and her father just starts asking questions. And I'm okay with questions because when I go to a different country, my interests are heightened. I always inquire, what is gas like? What is the cost of your apartment? So I get it, like, because it's new. You want to know different things, and their bags got lost or something. He was saying in the airport there was no exact rhyme or reason of what happened. It was something with their bags. So they went. He asked them, "Is it like a Walmart? Is there like Amazon? Does Amazon deliver here?" He's like, "No." So I was like, "Amazon deliver in Moldova? What?" Because he talks about his country like it's like everything. So he's like, "No, they don't deliver." And everything he asked him about delivery was like, "No." And he was asking this crazy question. Some questions I could understand. This one, he was just asking like, well, I'm trying to think of I can't think of one of them that he asked him that just made no sense. But he asked the question and he was like, no. Then he was like, oh, well, you remember Libby told me you told her that you were a police officer. He said, well, no, I wasn't a police officer. I was a detective. I worked in the office, like, no one knows, Andre, but okay. So the father was like, oh, so why did you leave there and go to Ireland? And he's just like, it doesn't matter. It was in the past. It's in the past. I get it. The past is always in the past, and you don't want to rehash, relive, regurgitate what happened for whatever reason. But her father is just trying to have conversation, especially since her father has given them so much, not just him, and he's just trying to be nice. And they're like, oh, we're going to figure this out because, you seem to be a mystery. We don't know much about you. And Libby is getting new information as well because she never knows shit about her own husband. So it's just whatever. Then they get to the dinner table and the family has a lot of meats and cheeses and fruits and stuff like that out. And they're like, oh, this is really good. They're eating and they're talking. And then the brother starts asking questions like, so why'd you move from here? Why'd you move from there? And just keep asking him questions to see what his friends will say. And then Libby gets pissed and she's just like, yeah, you're supposed to be the man, but I'm the woman. And he's like, well, the woman's supposed to work in America. That's how things go there. What? And then Elizabeth is like, oh, he's being so male chauvinistic, and I just don't understand why he's being like this, and yada yada yada. Are you letting me over? Thank you. And she's just confused, and it's going bad because they show the next scenes from it where like the brother and Andre is supposed to fight because Andre is just being Andre, and that's never good for anybody. So the next couple is Angela and Michael, and Angela's being Angela, over the top, dramatic, wrong for no reason, just Angela. Like there's no other words to describe it. You are in Nigeria. You have been to Nigeria. Michael's mom is coming over. He wants them to cook, and she's like, well, I'm not cooking. I told you I don't cook. This is American in my apartment. And Michael's like, are we in we're in Nigeria, and is the apartment that they got together, is it yours or is it ours? And he said, it's mine. He said, no, it's ours. And they kept going back and forth, ours, yours, ours, yours. And she said, well, fine, if it's yours, then you pay the bill. Angela, did you forget you told Michael he can't work because you don't trust him around women? That's why Michael don't have no job? You forgot you told him that? Or was that just me? So they're arguing, and she's like, well, I'm not cooking. They go to the market. He goes, well, let's get some rice. Now, she thought they're going to the store, meaning I'm going to, I don't know what stores you have wherever you are, but I'll give a couple of mine. They're going to a Stop and Shop. They're going to a Giant. They're going to a Wegmans, a Harris Teeter equivalent. Inside store, air conditioned. He's like, no, baby, we're going to the market where they have goats' heads, everything, every which way, just, it's not American. And Angela, she has to stop thinking or making herself believe that she's going to have some sort of normalcy in Nigeria. You are not. Michael doesn't live in that kind of area, so please stop having that assumption. Please stop having that theory. It's never going to be the same. So she's like, well, I'm trying to tell you, I'm not cooking, and you cooking, I'm getting the pizza, and your mama can be fine with that. And it's like, I've been married almost 20 years. If my mother-in-law was to say, I'm coming over for dinner, I'm cooking dinner, me and my husband are cooking dinner, and I get it, in Nigerian culture, the woman is in the kitchen and the man is just doing whatever he want to do. She keeps saying, you can't make me Nigerian. And he's not asking you to. He's asking you to follow a couple of the traditions. What is wrong? If you don't know how to cook Nigerian food, that's fine. You couldn't make rice? It was regular white rice. So it appeared. If you don't know how to cook, Michael, can you cook with me? Can we cook together so I make sure I'm doing this right? And stop having this damn attitude of, I'm better than you. You do what I say because I pay the bills and I'm pulling the strings around here. That's not how that's going to work. She still has not told him that she may have cancer and she cannot have a baby. So I don't know what's happening on that front. So his mother gets there and she's like, hey mama, bawani. She keeps saying the same two words she know, bawani, bawani. And they come in, they sit down at the table, and she has the pizza on top of the microwave, and Michael is in the kitchen frying some plantains and making his rice. And the aunt is like, mama can't eat rice because she's old. I don't know what that means. Is it too seasoned? I don't know why mama can't have rice. I've never heard of it, so I don't understand the concept. But she knows the mother, and the mother can't have rice, so that's fine. They then move on to eat, and the mother is saying in her language, this is unheard of, this is not common, Nigerian men usually don't cook. And Angela is hell-bent on letting her mother see Michael cook in the kitchen. She's like, no, I want mama to see you, Michael. I want mama to see you cooking, like to basically say, I want to demean you. Not that it's intentional or not, but she just wants him to understand, I want your mother to know, when you and me are married and together, you are not going to be having me in the kitchen. And that's crazy. But to each their own. You like it, I love it. And if I don't have to listen to it. The next couple is, what's the people name? Colt and Jess. I don't understand it. I will never understand it. Jess is like, she's so engaged and involved about sex with Colt, and I don't get it because, everybody loves their monkey and everybody must love Colt. So they are at the dinner table at Jess's people's house, and she's like, my family's crazy. So Debbie comes in and she's giving the father a hug, and he gives her, the traditional Brazilian or South American where they kiss you 2 times on both cheeks, left cheek, right cheek. And she's like, I don't like his father. He ain't do nothing to you. He said hello. He welcomed you how they welcome people. Like, what you want him to do? She didn't like it. She felt some kind of way. And then they were talking about how they're going to get married. And the father finally, after I don't know how long of a time span, said he approves of Colt. He seems like a nice guy. And, that's how that piece of it went. So she the Debbie's like, is it just me, or does it seem like they're moving too fast? And she kept saying, like, why the rush? Why y'all rushing to get married? Like, what is the big deal? And as Jess is trying to explain or try to talk, and Debbie's like, no, you're getting defensive. No. Shh, 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 to Debbie. And it's like Debbie, Colt, and Jess, and she's reaching across Colt with like this, and she's like, don't put your finger in my face. That's not a good thing to do. And then after Jess kept getting, extra animated, Debbie was like, I'm done. I'm ready to go home, back to the hotel. So Colt said, I'm gonna call you a cab. Basically, Ma, I'm out. You do what you gotta do. I'm out. I'm having a good time. I'm out. I'm not dealing with y'all. Like, you do what you gotta do, and you'll be fine. And Deb was like, she said, are you really gonna send me back to in a strange country by myself in the taxi? He's like, you'll be fine. It's like I'm tossed. One point you're saying, you love your mother, she's not well, she's sickly, kind of, and it's where you take care of her. And then next minute you want her in a cab by herself to where who knows what. Now, granted, I'm sure Jess wouldn't have said, go outside and put your thumb out and get a cab the best way you know how. They called the company came, picked her up, and took her back to the hotel. They must have had a long night of partying, because Colt comes to Debbie's apartment the next morning, Debbie's hotel room the next morning, and Colt's hair looks like a cockatoo. Like, it was just stuff all over his head. And I was like, oh, that's not a good look. But, nonetheless, that's what happened. He had it on top of his head. He came in, he got some coffee, and he got a Danish, whatever was on the platter that Deb had for breakfast. And then the second piece was Jess and Colt went to the beach in the morning, or afternoon, whatever it was, and they walk out on the beach, and Cole thought it was the best idea in the world to take off his shirt and take off his shorts and have on Speedos. Now, y'all done seen Cole's body. Y'all know Cole is built like a bad body Buick. They need to have cover-ups for men, because that look it looked like two catfish flapping on his chest with just, it was just awful. It was just awful. And she's still, I love Colt, and Colt is sex, and I love sex with Colt. And I'm like, girl, we didn't ask you that. And she's just get so excited about having sex with him. But the blogs tell us that Colt don't have nothing going on, and y'all broke up. So which one is it? So then we go to, let me think. So we did Andre, we did, Asuelu and Kalani, and then with the kids, and she's like, we can go to see your mom and your sister in Washington State. I didn't know Asuelu's parents lived so close. Did y'all know? I thought they all lived in Samoa. Let's say it's and when families meet somebody that's just so happen to be close to where your other family lives, and you can't come over any other way, it's like, how'd that happen? Coincidence? I don't think so. Because they live in Utah, so Utah and Washington ain't that far. I mean, it's far. It's not Samoa far, but it's not, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just baffled by how close his mother lives, and how no one has ever mentioned this in 2 seasons, that his mother lives right there. Asking for a friend. So his mother is basically like, oh, well, I can't wait to see you and Oliver, and I can't wait. And the sister's on the phone, and they look just alike. Like Asuelu's sister and Asuelu look like twins. One just has hair, and the sister has a grump face, like she's just like, and no expression at all. And the mom is like, oh, the mom is kooky. The mom seemed like she's a little bit off, but we're gonna just move on and not talk about that too much, because this is mother. And she's just like, oh, I am a lazy American over here. All I do is sleep, eat, and wait to die. Who says that? But then she says, he asked her, basically, are you okay? Do you need anything? She said, I need money. When you gonna send money? You know how we do in our culture. Money is important. And he's like, how much do you need? She said $1,000. I'm like, do you know your son gives out soft serve samples as his job? Kalani don't work. And he said, well, I pay bills and buy diapers with my money, and I have my car with gas and stuff like that. And the sister pops in out of nowhere. Sell your car, give it back. You don't need your car, send us money. You're supposed to take care of us. You know. What? He got 2 small kids and a wife. What? Every coach is different. That's all I'm gonna say, because that was insane to me. And Kalani's like, yeah, we're gonna come and see you all, and we hope it works out, and you know, whatever. So I don't know how they're gonna work. Did I miss anybody? Larissa. I don't even want to talk about her, because she's irrelevant for this show. She truly is. You go through Eric's phone, you find a number of a female that talked to him before when y'all was broken up, and you saw text messages that he was talking crap about you, so you felt the need to call her. When you break up with somebody and it's not amicable, you are normally gonna talk shit about them. It's human nature to be like, oh, they ain't worth it, they get on my nerve, they wasn't this anyway, especially if you pissed. So why was it wrong for him to talk about how pissed he was or whatever to this other girl? Now, what he did say, what the people say was that he was talking about how she gave blowjobs to Colt and how she gave blowjobs to Eric was 2 different. I'm like, well, didn't she have different lips? Because she done got Botox twice, so maybe that's why it's different. Just asking. And she's pissed about that. She's not happy. He shouldn't be talking about me to nobody. Allegedly, the girl, Natalie, on the phone was first like, oh, I'm not going to talk about him, what he said, because it was just wrong with it. She just blows everything out. Anyway, this season was something to talk about. This episode, was something to talk about. We'll get into the next one next week. I don't think I forgot anybody. I feel like it's just so many couples between the 2 shows that come on a day apart. Swelu, Kalani. I talked about them. Angela, Michael, Colt, Jess, Larissa, Eric. I think that's it. Did I forget anybody? Unless they're not that important. I think that's all I got. Yeah, so other than that, I'll harass y'all people later. Enjoy your day, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like my channel if you wish to do so.